Okay, so you know it's always an interesting week when you have to do a video before the video. So, since recording this, I've had a student report, and that's what this is about, an, an issue with the file that we need this week for the lecture. And to do the first part of this, and therefore the second part, you need to grab that file. But part of the problem is, and I'll just go ahead and click here to show you and I've added all kinds of content before doing the copy, right? So before you do this, this is the best option. I give another option here, but I've worked with other students, and this other option isn't as effective. This first one pretty much is. So what you want to do is before you do that command in your code space, in week 1, we added a file that we've never used, which is called the gitignore file. And in that file, I show you how to go ahead, and that's what these instructions right here are all about, is to add this into your gitignore. I also add this to tell it anywhere there's an image because it creates this type of file. You don't require to do this one at all. This one you do want to do. Now once you do that, you want to go ahead and do the git add, but in this case you need to do the file specifically, okay? And then git commit, right? And then git push. So you do all those commands before you actually go and get the file, meaning do the copy, right? So down here. So if you do that, the way you know, then when you go to copy the file in, you'll notice if you have the gitignore updated, and if you have pushed a version controlled your gitignore file, then what will happen is your movies file will be grayed out a little bit. And really what that means is when you go to do your normal standard version control, git add, git commit, right, that process, and then git push will just ignore this file because it's too large, and GitHub doesn't like that. Which, by the way, in the assignment you actually do some optimization of the file size, so it's kind of interesting, but still, even at that optimization, it's still too big. Okay, so I'm going to put this here before you do anything else to make your lives easier. Watch this video, do what I'm going to tell you. If for some reason you're watching this video and you've already done the git add and you added everything, right, then what will, right, then you could do these individually, but what will happen is you'll still run into the issue because the git add of the db movies.db is already in the tracking system. And so I've had a couple students who had success with adding just this git remove the database file and then git commit without it. But I've had a couple students that didn't work for, and I'm guessing it was because some other things that were happening in their repos. So what I will also provide is the chat session that I went through to figure out how to do this with the student that I was successful in helping. Now, to end this, one thing that chat actually said was to, as an option here, is to start over, which is not what we want, but I'm just going to give you the whole chat session just so you have it. But the last thing it said was start fresh. So here's what you could do. If you have already, tried all of my options, and the only thing that you have, and I suggest you do this before you do the rest of the work, because what you can do is remove your code space, and I don't have that instruction here. I'm telling you that on this video. If for some reason when you're trying this, or I'm going to give you the option from my chat session, if you go through that and it still doesn't work, and you haven't done any of the work for the attendance and for the regular optimizing, which by the way is not due until the Monday after Thanksgiving. So hopefully, most of you will see this video before that. But if for chance you didn't do this first step and you were trying to do the second one by removing and it still wasn't working, if the only thing you have, right, was just maybe you had watched the attendance and you had that first part of it, That's okay. You can still do the following. And again, it's kind of a, we don't want to do it, but sometimes it's what we have to do is to start fresh. Now, when it says start fresh here, this is like if you were cloning locally, but you all could just, and this is like I'm just giving you the, hey, be careful if you do this, is to remove your code space and recreate it. Because it will do, what it will do is when it recreates or when you create a new code space, you can actually it'll just take whatever is in GitHub, right, and create that new code space, which should get rid of all this issue with the DB file. Now, having said all that, I've also, in addition, given students the option, at least for tonight, to give me the QSQL, the README file, and the POW proof of work file. You can just give them to me as a file uploaded here. Again, I would prefer not to have this option taken if we can get the other things working that I've talked about it, but I will put this video. Oh, by the way, to get this, you could just right click on these files and get in your code space, and there's a download option. Then you could upload them here. Okay, but again, I prefer you I prefer you not have this issue of all. So again, it didn't happen to me. I did get a warning when I originally copied that file, but it didn't cause my mind to break, as some of you did. But I suspect there might be something else going on. But again, best option, I'll end with this, the best option is this one. Before you do anything, right, just go in and modify that uh, get ignore file, right? That's in, we did it in week 1, but it's in the root of your repo, right? Whatever your repo is, that get ignore. Update that with having now included this, and then do the version control, right? The get, but you have to do it specifically this way for the add, and then do the git push, and then go get the movie file, and you should be good to go. Hope this helps. I hope this prevents some of you from running into some of the pain that unfortunately some students did this morning. All right. See ya.